On this episode of Gas Station Cappuccino, Dean decides to let him know. Welcome to the Gas Station Cappuccino, episode 80.
How do you say 80 in Spanish?
I
was going to say...
Ochenta?
I was going to say that. Is that right?
It's Ochenta.
I should have said it.
Mm-hmm. I think so anyway.
Probably.
Well, Dean, I got something actually. I've been I've actually managed to not tell you about something earlier because I knew we were going to do Gas Station Cappuccino today.
Okay.
And it's nothing like groundbreaking, but it's interesting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So last night, my mom is watching the girls, and my mom started CrossFit.
Okay.
Started at the gym.
I thought you were going to say crying, but...
No. Yeah, it starts to see.
Probably. I was like, oh.
She probably cries at the gym. Anyway, so she's been going for a couple months now, and she just does one-on-ones like twice a week because she was, pretty out of shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
build the foundation,
get in there,
then throw her to the wolves.
Exactly. And like she honestly, our coaches are all good. If she went to a group class, she'd be taken care of. But I think that she would be really hesitant. It's like, you know what? Let's do it this way. Get in the habit of going, like get more confident, get more comfortable, and then she'll start going to classes eventually.
Well, a separate, not necessarily your mom's situation, but I think some people hesitate to do the group setting kind of style of training because they're afraid to look silly in front of people that have been doing it for years.
Correct.
I think that's probably the biggest thing that holds a lot of people back.
Absolutely.
To even get in the door. But then once you get in there and you realize, oh, no one gives a shit how I look doing this or what I'm doing as far as other members or whatever.
Well, it turns out
everybody knows that you're just there to learn.
It turns out it's the exact opposite. What happens is everyone else there has been in the same spot. They know what it's like. They once were brand new and once could not do the things they could do now and all that.
Mm-hmm. True.
And so that kind of is perfect segue into this is she says last night as I get home, she's getting ready to go. She goes, oh, hey, by the way, really having a good time down there. And with Frank. Frank's our coach who's doing her PTs. And he's great. He's a fantastic coach. And I said, good. She said, yeah, said earlier today, I looked over at the class. Sometimes I look over at the class and I think, man, I'm never going to be able to do that stuff. She's like, but then I thought about it and I realized all the things that I can do now that I couldn't even come close to doing when I first came in. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I will be able to do some of those things, like in a year.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's
long term.
That's exactly it, But she kind of had that
epiphany.
She looks over and she's like, I don't know if I could ever do that. And thought about it and thought, well, actually, now I can do so much more than I could even just a few months ago when I came in. I will be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it was kind of one of those little cool things where it's like, yeah, that's it. And I think a lot of people don't have that realization early on. It's like, how many times you hear someone say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not good at those, or I'll never be able to get that, or I'm just not good at that.
Well, it all comes down to that,
growth mindset.
Yeah. It's also once you get past that intimidation factor, and then once you start to realize, oh, I just got to show up, and then things will happen. It's having that long-term mindset of okay, this will happen. I just got to keep showing up.
Put in the work. Move the dirt.
Yeah, move the dirt.
Just shovelful every day.
Pay the man.
Yeah, sharpen
or
the
woman.
axe. Look, this axe ain't gonna sharpen itself.
Pay the man or woman.
Pay the individual.
Pay the person.
Well, now you're assuming that they identify as a person.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Just pay the person. Just pay up.
No, I was never mind. Done there.
Yeah, sharpen the axe.
Sharpen the axe.
Remember when we walked in that gym asking where the grindstone was?
And just kept saying it over and over again.
It was regionals. It was booth delirium.
Yeah.
And we went into workout and we went straight to the owner.
Was that the code 3?
Yeah, it was the code 3 in San Diego.
Yeah, the San Diego chapter.
And Aaron was with us. He was following Misfits at the time. And so we kept talking about Misfits and sharpen the axe. And so we went into code 3. Excuse me, sir, where do you keep it? I keep what? Where do you keep it? The grindstone.
Yeah, then you sharpen up.
Hey, look, this axe isn't going to sharpen itself. Where do you keep that grindstone now? Pull it out. Let's see it.
I remember that day specifically because I remember
we did an Airdyne workout.
We snatched and clean. Snatched also. And I remember I was I was pretty light then. I think I was like a 77, and in fucking no food, like lack of food, lack of sleep.
Yep. And in your nanos probably or whatever.
In nanos, I just ended up snatching like 255.
Yeah, man. You go to its environment. You go to
no
gym.
Straps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would you have straps? I mean, it was like we were training CrossFit that day. There wasn't like weightlifting training.
But there's off to the side, there are some platforms, and we lifted first on those platforms, and then we did like this.
Let's hit the rubber.
And then we did, and then we did this Airdyne toes to bar fucking workout afterwards.
I thought we lifted on the rubber mats.
We did. It was off to the side. I thought that maybe.
I think we were on the rubber.
Yeah.
Rubber meets the road.
I remember it was off to one side though, for sure.
I remember that. I was like, fuck, dude, how did I snatch?
We're like shoved against that wall.
I think at the time my best was only like 120, 265.
Man, sometimes the best days are when you don't expect. I think part of it's having no expectations, and some of it's like your body's in fight or flight already anyway. I remember it was the first year we did the Caffeine Kilos Invitational, maybe. Might have been the second year. Afterwards, we go to Warriors to drop off the equipment, and Charlie's like, hey, let's snatch. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Mm-hmm. And so then and this might have been like the next day or whatever. I don't remember exactly how it went down, but it was like, I remember we were just absolutely exhausted. We just unloaded all this equipment, because we stayed the night at the place and the hotel there, whatever. So the next day we drive the stuff back. Barely slept the night before, a little celebrating the night before, all this type of thing. Mm-hmm. Unload the equipment. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then I think I was within like a couple kilos of PR in my snatch.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those.
Sometimes it goes down like that.
Like, what the
You know what it
fuck?
is? It's like you're just reacting and you're not fucking like overthinking. Your body's just reacting. Like your body's just moving in the right positions because it knows you're exhausted and it knows you're like need to be precise.
And there's no other choice.
There's really no other choice.
If you're out of position, it's not happening.
When your only option is to make the lift because your body and your mental capacity sometimes is like a little behind. Like sometimes your body just kind of reacts and works properly. It's weird.
Yeah.
There's got to be some science behind that.
Yeah.
I think it's more just like you're just not expecting it much. You're not like, oh man, I had fucking 5,000 calories today. I've been cycling down or I've been deloading for this day. Like I got a massage 2 days ago. Like I'm going to hit a PR today. You go into that like with that and then you hit like 85%
expectations.
And then you're just like, you're fucked. I feel like that happens more often than the success from like those, like you think it's that perfect day is usually not going to be.
I remember pulling on like 315. I think so. That would have been PR at the time. I think my best snatch was like 140, 141 maybe, which is 308, 310. And it was like 115.
41 is
315. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, I was like, whatever, 44 all-time PR pulling on it. I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the funk, in the zone.
Dude, I watched a video. I was going through videos the other day and I watched a video of when I snatched 275 and I'm like, there's no fucking way I could even snatch deadlift that right now.
We haven't done it in how long?
Well, I know I haven't.
So yeah.
No, I'm just saying though. It's just funny how like your body can do certain things at one point, but now like I would be struggling to snatch deadlift that if I had to do it right now.
Well, think of also, here's the flip. You're absolutely right. The flip side of that is like, think of the fastest 5K you've ever ran, right?
Yeah.
Like you probably ran like a 20-minute 5K, something like that, right? 21,
yeah, pretty fast,
like I think my best, I've done like a 21:30 or something.
Yeah, I was in there. Under 25 for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like under 22. Mm-hmm. But then thinking about it when I was weightlifting, like, God, I don't know if I could have ran a 5K.
No. Probably not.
It would have been one of those jogs where it's faster to walk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Back to weightlifting. I want to talk weightlifting. I don't know. What do you feel about days you hit a big snatch? Are you expecting to go, say it's like a max on both lifts? I feel like as long as I hit that big snatch without like a shitload of attempts, I'm good mentally for a close to PR clean and jerk, almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
If I didn't blow my load on like a shitload of attempts.
Well, the problem is
because then your confidence is flowing.
The problem I've ran into though is you get this big like adrenaline dump, You know, like if you hit a big PR,
most of the time.
if you hit a big PR, and if you don't PR, it's just close. But say you're pulling on a big PR, but you don't make it. You know, again, how many attempts you take at it? Like 1 or 2, you're probably all right. But you actually hit a PR on snatch, it's hard to get up again because like you're so pumped. You get this big adrenaline dump. You're fucking fired up, and then it's like, all right, now take the weights off and start over at nothing. Going to it's.
You know what I started doing a lot later in my like weightlifting career, I would say
having a second energy drink before clean and jerk.
No, more. Well,
I do that just about every time.
No, I did not do that. Honestly, I mean, I would have a lot throughout the day, or even like, especially if I know we're like, you know, I'd be prepared. Definitely drinking energy drinks before.
You're getting ready for max out.
Yeah, for sure. Big food, you know, like big lunch, like getting ready to go. And then I would honestly, like when it came down to clean and jerk, I would go. Let's say we're working up to a snatch, get around, you know, 95%, 90%, going for a max out day. You know, not every day, or a PR, who knows? I'm going almost every Friday, max out Friday situation. I'm going 70, 90, 110,
PR attempt,
130, 130, 140.
You take way fewer clean and jerks.
And like, I'm doing 1 rep. And this is not everybody, but this was just what I would do.
Yep.
And I'm doing 1 rep.
Yeah. Legs are tired.
Fucking that's it. Like maybe a couple jerks early on.
Yeah.
But like after that, it's single jerks.
Yeah.
But I think my body is different than everybody else's clearly. But like I did not fuck around with clean.
Well, you're warm.
Yeah, you're warm, ready to go.
For one, you know, snatches, whatever, like you got to warm it up, you get loose. If you just snatched up to a heavy anything, like you've got the mobility to clean and jerk now. And I mean, sure, maybe grab an empty bar or whatever, do 70, a few power cleans of 70 or something to kind of like.
Sometimes I would. Sometimes I'd even go just straight 90, 110. Yeah. Like take the bar off, 90, 110, 130, 40, and then go from there and hopefully get to 50 or more.
Yeah. Bigger jumps for sure in the clean and jerk. You're warm. That's a big part of it. It's like once you're warm,
the clean and jerk session lasted
and your legs
a
are
fraction of the snatch session.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's fucking hard work.
Yeah. And that's not also not good for like a training for volume to get stronger. That's just like
trying to hit
payoff day.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, how awful is it when it's like a big lift, maybe it's PR, just like really heavy, clean and jerk, and you make the clean and you miss the jerk. And you're like, motherfuck. Like, I don't know if I had to stand up that again. I got to do that again.
Yeah. Or just staring down a fucking double clean and jerk.
Oh, dude.
Just like blowing up that first clean and knowing that you have, of course, that happened.
Coming back.
Knowing that you got to pull under that bar again.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking like max effort, double clean and jerks.
Oh, yeah.
I love that lift though, because it's a rewarding lift. There's nothing more, because that second clean, mentally it's hard, but physically, because you're reacting and your timing's probably pretty good after that first one, it gets you fired up.
Yeah. And
you get fucking fired up for that second clean.
Well, I feel like the second jerk is like easier than the first jerk a lot of times.
I meant 2 cleans, 1 jerk.
Oh, yeah.
In this situation. But yeah. Regardless, yeah. That's verbatim.
If you do clean and jerk, that second jerk, it's like a lot of times it's your best one because again, it fucking it has to be.
Yeah.
Because if it's not right in the slot, you're not making it.
Mm-hmm.
You ever do like the 1 clean and 5 jerks?
I think I probably have at some point. I can't remember specific.
Just fuck up your collarbones. I like to do like a max.
Well, then you start doing those like those you know what I'm talking about. The kind of like you're doing it, but you're not like holding it.
Right.
And you're kind of going right into that next one.
Well, let's think about when you're doing splits though. It's like you gotta recover. Like split jerk recover. But so
there's like that like half recover though, like as you're recovering, you're springing it down. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. It's like not standing snatches up all the way.
Yeah.
It's like in training, you're doing triple and you're strapped up.
Mm-hmm.
You might hit your first snatch. Instead of standing all the way up there, you just kind of caught in the hole. I'm like, all right, just bring it back down.
And the rule of thumb with that always is if you make the last one, the others all count.
Right. Well, because it's not
no matter what.
Well, it depends on what cycle. And if say you're doing like a volume squatting cycle, it's like, are these that extra 1 squat with that weight? Like, is that the goal for the day? And maybe it is, but maybe it's not,
Well, if you're standing up that last snatch, like no problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
Then it's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If you have problems with standing up snatches, like then don't skip all those.
Just to get clear on this too, if you get pinned in the bottom of snatch, you got bigger issues.
Yeah. That's if you've been lifting for a long time and that's still happening, like you got to figure something out.
Well, if it's a strength thing, like if say you,
that's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, if it's off, I don't know. I just don't understand it. Like if you ever, like one time, like you get pinned in the bottom of snatch once, it's like, okay, well, so for the next 3 weeks, all you're doing is front squats. Like that's pretty much it. Like there's just no excuse for that.
I've never been pinned in a snatch.
No, that's, you know why? Is because you have determination and grit and a pair of balls.
Yeah, no, there's not. I've maybe been forward and been trying to like save it back and then stand up.
That's count.
But I stand up, my snatch is fucking fast.
I mean, like, boom, catching the hole, ready to rock, and then, I can't get out.
It's funny. I can probably stand up a 120 snatch faster than I could probably front squat 120. Seriously.
Trying to get the fuck
like
out
back of the time, because the timing. My timing on my standing up my snatches was at one point so good that as I caught it, I'm up.
Yeah.
Like I would catch the bounce in the hole at the same time. It was like,
yeah,
and I was up fast.
Man,
it was definitely like, as soon as I caught it, I was coming back up. Like there wasn't much sitting down in the hole. There really wasn't. But I was also pretty flexible. So like when I was getting down, like I was getting to bottom.
Yeah.
I wasn't like catching him and then riding him down.
You ever do that thing where you catch it just a little wider than the other ones? Like, you got your normal snatches and like every now and then you never know when it's going to happen. At least I never knew when it was going to happen. But it was like a particularly heavy lift and you're fucking pulling them, boom, and you catch in the hole and your feet are just a little wider than normal and your hips are a little lower than normal. And it's like, oh, I didn't know I had that. Like, I didn't know that was available to me.
The longer distance.
Just like a little. And I mean, I'm pretty flexible. I get down there every time. But like every now and then, it's like really heavy attempts, right? Like over 95%.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes like your body just does it. It just goes, your feet just land 1 inch wider than normal and your hips are a couple inches lower than normal. And it's like, I didn't know that range was there.
The way that I'm built.
And I'm like, can I get the fuck out of here?
The way that I'm built though, and the way that my body.
Your feet are pretty close together.
My feet are always, and I'm hitting, my butt's almost touching the ground with my feet together.
Yeah.
And also like my strength in weightlifting wasn't my strength. It was my flexibility, my speed, my timing, my just, I guess, skill.
Yeah.
I guess, I didn't have a bunch
you're more technical than you were strong.
Yeah. I wasn't like a reserve. I didn't have a bunch of reserve strength.
God, me either.
So like every time I was snatching, I wasn't strong enough to catch it. And then that's why my powers were so shit. Yeah. So like my power cleans were pretty good and stuff like that. But like as far as like power snatching has always been very bad because I relied so much on my just speed under the bar, like fucking so fast under the bar. Like I don't have to be strong. Yeah. Like I don't. So, and also like I'm kind of a taller, skinnier guy. So it was always just all about timing and speed. And that's how I adapted over like, the years and years and years of doing it. So it's like, there was no need to be stronger in snatch. I would try and obviously get stronger, but like the way I lifted wasn't a strength style of snatching. It was a very technical, like you were saying, style, which is not everybody, but that's what I'm like. I wasn't able to like catch it and then ride it down. It was like, I'm catching it at the fucking bottom.
Right. Well, the point
whether it's 70% or fucking, 95%. Well,
that's what I'm talking about too. It's not like I would ride it down into there, but that's just where I would catch it. I'm like, oh, this is not normal. This is my hips. I felt like I was a fucking wishbone in the bottom, ready to get snapped out of there. Oh, actually,
like the Chinese where they
stand up.
Sometimes their butt will like touch and their knees almost go in because they're so low.
Yeah. Oh man.
Good old weightlifting.
Yeah.
Fun sport. Big character builder.
Oh man. Well, that's okay. So back to my mom's whole story. It made me think about all of sports. And then just all of exercise and training, like someone who has never worked out in their life and who hasn't participated in sports after the age of 10 years old. Like you are missing out on such a life and just character builder. And people talk about building character all the time. It sounds corny, but just the idea of I can't do this now, but then you work on something and then you can do it. And like, I don't think that's exemplified so well through sports and through just training, working out. Even if you're not doing CrossFit or weightlifting, you're just doing bro shit, whatever you're benching. Yeah. It's like, okay, like you do an empty bar, and whatever, you can only do it so many times. If you do it every day, like you're going to be able to do more than that. Right. And it's like in a day-to-day life, you don't have very many opportunities necessarily to see that. Like you might be a little bit better at driving today than you were yesterday, but there's no way to quantify that. Yeah, you know? And so, whereas when you're working out, exercise, especially if you're competing a sport like weightlifting, or if you're just training CrossFit, whatever, like there's a tangible, I couldn't do this, now I can. But previously, I failed this. I was not able to squat 135 pounds. Today, I squatted 155. I'm like, I did this thing that was hard and I'm better because of it. You know, and like seeing that tangible progress, like that builds confidence, that builds pride, that builds, and then just the mindset to take that to other areas. Like just because you can't do it now doesn't mean you can't fucking do it. It just means you can't do it now. You know, a week from now, maybe you can. A year from now, maybe you can.
Well, it's funny. It's like, it's corny, but it's not because it's true. But it's, you carry over those qualities into your day-to-day life.
Absolutely.
If you're busting your ass at the gym, you're probably working pretty hard in your regular life.
Well, look,
you're already doing this uncomfortable thing to get results, to be a better person. Mm-hmm. So you're going to carry that over into your regular life, like without even realizing it or knowing. You just, oh man, I could have wrote that paper better, or I could have got that job done faster.
Well, every time you do something, every action you take, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. Mm-hmm. And that's absolutely the fact. You walk by and there's a piece of paper on the ground and you see it and you're like, I should get that. And you choose not to. You just casted a vote for being the type of motherfucker who doesn't do things because you're being lazy. Like who doesn't want to do an easy task, who would rather things be messy, who doesn't want to just like do something as simple as bend over and pick up a piece of paper, right? Mm-hmm. The same thing. It's like, talk about this with the power list, like the 5 tasks. You write down 5 tasks and you do them all. You write a W at the bottom of the page. What's that message you just sent yourself? If I say I'm going to do something, I fucking do it, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's it. Like you're telling yourself that. And so then next time something comes up and you say you're going to do it, or you set out to accomplish something, like winning is a part of who you are. Mm-hmm. Like you win the day over and over again, you become a winner, and that's what you expect. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times winning in situations is just following through and actually doing the things you said you're going to do.
No, because it's so easy to not follow through, and it's so easy to make excuses why things aren't getting done.
Most people fail because they fucking quit. Mm-hmm. It's not because they're not capable. It's because shit got hard or it got inconvenient, and it was easier just to stop.
Yep.
Oh, I can't do it. Yes, you can do it. You just didn't fucking try. You put forth a half-ass effort, and then you called it.
Yep. No, writing's usually on the wall, right? With why something doesn't work out. It's that's it. That's it, man. It's that's why I feel like this kind of fitness in general, or just being an active person and conversing with other people in those kind of atmospheres is so important. Because we get so stuck in our day-to-day lives of like that shit we're not supposed to be doing as humans, but we have to now by necessity, right?
Yeah.
Like we weren't designed
to drive a car.
We weren't designed to sit all fucking day and stare at, megapixels.
Right.
That's not what we're here to do. So yes, those things are now necessities. I'm not saying like you shouldn't do those things, because that's just not reality. But what are you going to do then in your day to talk to people, get involved in something? Because it's so easy not to now because of all this digital stuff and all this work related stuff. But you still need us as people for how our brains are built and how our brains function. For us to stay healthy mentally, you need to talk to people. You need to communicate with people. You can't seclude yourself. You need these things like for your brain to function, or your brain can break.
God, and this is why too, like people, you can talk shit, whatever about CrossFit, I don't care. But the point is the group class type thing, and CrossFit in particular, why it is so good for people. It's okay. Yeah, the workouts are great and obviously you get results from them, right? But it's the going there and there's like-minded people or other people who are there doing their fucking shitty job or whatever. Maybe they love their job. The point is like, you're there at other adults. It's the reason why those 8:30 or 9:30 a.m. classes has a lot of like stay-at-home moms in it, whatever. That's an hour during the day they can talk to another fucking adult instead of just being like with their kid all day, right?
Well, you become your surroundings.
Like you become your surroundings, right? And I don't want to turn back into a 3-year-old. No. And so if that's all you hang out with.
No.
Anyway, the point is, like, you get there around this environment. It really is the community. It's the environment. It's other people who are all there. You see they're working hard. You're working hard also. You have this connection. And that's a big part of this article I read is interesting. This lady used to go to a CrossFit gym. She moved. And when she went to find a new one, there was like a knockoff CrossFit gym right there. And she's like, oh, so she joined there. But they just basically didn't do the technical stuff, right? Like they didn't do much heavy lifting. They didn't do any like the Olympic lift, stuff like that. And what she found was the community was total shit. Like everyone would show up, do the workout and leave.
Nope.
And the reason why
discount community, discount CrossFit,
exactly,
or whatever,
discount fitness.
You're taking away all the parts that make the moving vehicle.
Correct. And she thought a big part of the reason why that community wasn't there is there wasn't the combined struggle. You know, there wasn't the communal struggle of learning a new task, right? It's like if all you do is you're just doing how many kettlebell swings you can do in 30 seconds. It's like, okay, last week I did 15, this week I did 16. Okay, yeah, all right. Like, is that really how pumped, right? Whereas the difference of like, I could barely squat an empty bar, and then now I'm doing 155 pounds and someone's pumped up for you and you're learning how to do cleans and it's fucking hard and everyone knows it's hard and you're struggling together. And the person next to you is like, oh dude, I've really been struggling with these too. This is what helped me. And they're helping each other out. You have this like, the communal bond is more than just like, we sweat next to each other, but like we toiled and sweated and struggled next to each other, you know, and that community and that talking to other people, you know, which a lot of people don't get a hold of. All this, you know, more and more people are working at home or they got this freelance economy. People are freelancing from their fucking couch at home, which is fine. It's great, but they're not getting that personal interaction.
Yeah.
You know, all their interaction is through fucking social media with people hiding behind their screens. And maybe some of that's real if you know them or your friends, and some of that shit's fake. And it's not the same as actually talking to somebody or actually sitting next to somebody.
Yeah, no, that's it, man. That's it. You know, it's just, I think it's super important. And I know, you know, and honestly, we live in a time where now people are starting to realize how important that is. I feel like now more than ever, you know,
it's like it has to be taken away before you realize how important it is. Like here's a few things people need to do. And this is not controversial. Okay. You should eat some fucking vegetables.
Yep.
Okay. You should break a sweat you should exercise, break a sweat a couple times a week, right? You should talk to people, community, belonging. You need to talk to people in person. And then you need to go outside.
Yeah.
And that's kind
it's really hard.
Like, those are kind of, now hold on. What if we can like go outside and talk to some people and break a sweat and like, hey, you know, get a buddy, go on a hike. I don't know. Like,
and that's the thing too, is like in limited time that a lot of us have, you know, free time, you can knock out all those things that are important for the human psyche in one sitting. That's kind of like
in one standing.
Yeah. In one standing. Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of what these kind of being active lifestyle. I think having an active lifestyle, like that's what is required, I think, and necessary
to be happy.
Yeah. As far as like, you know, like if you eat like shit, and you're lazy and you don't move and your body's not working properly, chemically, your body and your mind is going to make you unhappy. You can't stop that.
Sorry.
That's not something 100%. You can just stop from happening.
100%.
You can't just say like, oh, that won't affect. Yes, it will, because you don't have control of that.
I'll tell you, take somebody who eats vegetables every day, who gets outside on a regular basis, who talks to people in person on a regular basis, and who breaks a sweat, works out a couple times a week. Right? I'm going to show you someone who's happy.
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
And everybody has their time.
Let me tell you something else. If you know somebody who's just a miserable fuck, I guarantee he's missing one of those four things. If you know somebody and they're just fucking grumpy and they're in a bad mood and they're just one of those guys, you see, you know what I'm talking about. You're like, oh, that guy's just a miserable fuck. Guarantee he's either not eating his vegetables, he's not getting outside, he's not talking to people in person, and he's not exercising. One of those four things is guaranteed to be missing. Maybe all four.
Yeah.
Like you want a course on how to not be happy, how just to be a piece of shit and feel like a piece of shit. Don't do those four things.
Well, I think another thing is that we're kind of running on time, but as far as the thing that gets underlooked as far as like, I guess, mental health is just like diet.
Oh my God.
It's like one of the most important things. I just kind of like, people don't realize, like, yeah, there's a lot of things that go involved with that, but like having a healthy diet and a healthy foundation, physically, the things you're putting in your body has a big impact on that.
Absolutely. There's no question.
Major impact.
There's no question.
But people think, oh, just because I work out, the endorphins from that, like, oh, like I do all this and this and this, but like I eat like shit and I always feel like tired or gross or kind of cloudy or irritable. It's like, well, what are you eating? It's like, oh, are you drinking enough water? No. And obviously there's different things, different scenarios where there's outside stuff that can affect you.
Yeah, we're not saying this is the only thing. No. But oftentimes, you're thinking, if you don't have these things squared away, then what are you doing?
Yeah, like start there, and then obviously, like there's a lot of that goes a huge spectrum of things. But like,
well, it's like going to the doctor for fucking weight loss pills or the special fucking weight loss, whatever. It's like, well, how about you start exercising 3 days a week and start eating.
Or you get gastric
foods.
bypass surgery.
Right. It's like, do these things first. And I'll tell you what, now, if you're doing these things and you're struggling, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Or like, people have different health issues, whatever. Honestly, doesn't matter. Whatever your health issues are, if you have health issues, if you're not exercising a couple days a week and eating like meats, vegetables, healthy fats, like if you're not eating a healthy, natural food diet and you're not exercising, you need to get that shit squared away before you go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's and not always the case, but I watch a lot of those like 600-pound live shows and stuff.
No, we're going to say always. Let's just make a broad generalization.
No, but it's like,
and obviously there are things that happen to people, and people do have health issues and thyroid issues and all that.
Oh, no, for sure. No,
but like if you're not doing these things,
for sure.
Like,
and I think a lot of these doctors, though,
it's fucking easier to go to the doctor.
Well, a lot of these doctors also, though, that they're making these people that are going in for these surgeries, like they're making them lose weight on their own before they'll even consider them for the surgery.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case. I'm sure some doctors are just ready to sign on the dotted line, pay me.
Well, you know what it is? Honestly, weight loss surgeries or diet pills, shit like that, it's fucking lotto winners, right? And this is what I mean. It's like what percentage of people win the lottery and end up fucking broke 10 years later, right? You hear those stats all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's true or not. People say that all the time.
Well, it's pretty, I think the numbers are there.
I mean, it's the same thing. How many people go through, get gastric bypass or some shit like that and gain the weight back? Happens all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not sustainable. You're not changing lifestyle. You're making this big change, and then you're told to only eat a fucking thimble of food at a time for a month because your stomach's so small. And then eventually, but you never change your habits. So the same shitty habits, shitty diet, lack of exercise. It's like you're handicapping yourself. Besides, anyway, I don't get into.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. For sure, it's a whole thing. There's in most cases, with people that have the opportunities, the answers are there for results of physical and mental, growth and happiness. And it's kind of takes place in just being active and being outside and being around people. I guess it's kind of like general, the point here is like, man, there's a lot of things out there that you can do that with, and just encouraging people to just do that more often. It's kind of, I guess, what we do as a company.
Yeah.
And like what we feel like is our like a little bit of our responsibility with like, with this platform is like promoting like that lifestyle of being active and getting involved in
100%
in community-based lifting or competition.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is. It's like, yeah, it's a brand and we have coffee or whatever and shirts and stuff, but it's also like, yeah, but that all comes with the community and getting involved in the community. That's the big picture, is like getting involved in these things and like changing lives. I know personally for me and for you, like these sports and this style of, being active has changed our lives.
Oh yeah.
Like physically and mentally in many ways. And you've got, your business now where that is your, like a big part of your life. You're like teaching other people, helping other people get in shape. And it's just like, it's bigger than just, the physical level with like, products or whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like using these platforms to talk about the bigger issues, right? Like that's what it's all about. I think that's the coolest part, I think, personally.
Oh, there's absolutely.
And just seeing people just get stoked on just doing good, positive things.
Well,
every different levels of positivity.
Well, it's like, how good it feels to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I wish everyone knew what it felt like.
And I knew,
good, right? And
it's like, I was not before I found CrossFit, I was not the happiest guy. I was not the most confident person. I wasn't the most strongest person, like mentally. I was just kind of like, kind of like a young kid in my 20s, just kind of mad at the world.
Diet wasn't very good.
Diet was terrible. And like all those, like you're eating absolute dog shit, fucking drinking a lot, too much, not like, like there's a lot of things. And that was definitely changed through fitness or being active and getting involved in community-based
and being around
things.
And being around people
who
are working out and eating healthy.
Yeah.
And trying to improve themselves. It's all about just trying to fucking improve.
All these people aren't just trying to go party and eat fast food all night like the other crew I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was a total lifestyle change for me. And it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like I just know personally how it's affected me in my personal life as far as just making that change. And I feel like more people can benefit from that.
Oh, there's
and if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably already on that journey. Which is good for you.
So
which
tell
is
other
awesome.
people.
Yeah, so tell other people. Spread the word. I guess that'd be the biggest takeaway from today's podcast is spread the word.
Yeah. Let them know. There we go. Let them know. This has been episode 80 of Gas Station Cappuccino. Get out there and let them know.